Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anne-Sophie, this is my cat, Lilla, and today we'd love to talk to you about what I've been up to in terms of knitting in September. Right, Lilla? She saw a pigeon. I'm assuming this is going to be a bit of a short, rushed podcast because I am filming this on my lunch break because I'm so busy I won't have any time later this week or this weekend. It was either this or no podcast until the end of October, so here we are. To start, we can talk about what I'm wearing, and that is my mixed rib cami by Florence Miller, or Handmade by Florence. She is a brilliant designer who makes amazing patterns. I have loved everything I've knit of hers so far, and this project is no different. It's been sort of ubiquitous in the knitting community, especially this and last summer. I think because it's just the perfect staple, and the mixed rib makes it look super contemporary and trendy while also being a timeless basic piece that can suit your wardrobe for years or maybe even decades to come. This camisole has a boat neck and a mixed rib all over, so that does mean that when you knit it, which is top down, you do have to purl through the back loop quite a lot because all of these single stitches are twisted stitches. I found that quite tedious, but it wasn't as bad as I anticipated it would be at first. By the way, if you hear purring, that's because this lovely lady is in need of a lot of attention. Sorry. The boat neck and the arms are finished with beautiful, timeless, I think 3-stitch wide I-cord edges. It looks so neat. I could not love the finishings more. The pattern has optional waisty creases, which look amazing because she just adds stockinette on the side, which you decrease, and I did so until the stockinette stitches matched the mixed rib. The bind off you do is just a simple Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, but it looks much nicer than it does in some of my other tops where I've used this bind off, so I'm very pleased with that. I was contemplating doing an I-cord bind off, but I don't think it's necessary. It's very stretchy and comfortable, and I love it so much with how it looks and fits right now. I think I'm the second size, the size B, but I knit it to the length of the size A because I have a quite short torso and it fits perfectly. I think it's the perfect length to either wear slightly tucked in, not tucked in, or fully tucked in. It works either way. I used the recommended yarn on, I think, 3mm needles, but it might have been 2.75 as well. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. Yeah, it worked out perfectly. My gauge is perfect. This top fits me perfectly, ideally. I will be knitting another one of these probably next summer, and I would use the same yarn, which is the recommended yarn, knitting for olive merino. I used the color artichoke purple, and I think it suits me really well. It was also a very fun pinkish purple color to knit with. It was the last summer top I finished, so I've finished it like at the start of the fall, but I found that it really suits fall pretty well as a color. It's like a purple that borders burgundy, so I feel like it suits the season a lot, and I've been wearing it so much, like just with a coat or with a cardigan. It looks absolutely perfect. I love this so much. I now understand why everyone has knit it and why so many people knit multiple versions of this pattern, even though you have to do so many purls through the back loop. It's 100% worth it. I'm so glad I knit this, and yeah, as I said, I will be knitting another one in the future, I'm quite sure. Maybe in a more neutral color, but yeah, I love it so much. It's so cute. Oh, I only used 2 balls of yarn, which is really great. I didn't even need to crack open this third one, which is great because I'm planning on doing a colorwork sweater for which I'll need a lot of different single balls of knitting for olive merino. So this color is one I want to include in that sweater, and I'll just be holding on to this ball of yarn until the time to knit that crazy colorwork sweater comes around. That won't be immediately. I'm still practicing my colorwork skills and learning how to do colorwork before I dare to even tackle the project that I have on my mind. But yeah, until then, it's nice to have this extra ball of yarn that by the time I'll use it will feel like it's free because it's leftovers from another project. In my experience, knitting for olive merino summer tops are a bit hot for warmer summer days. We had a pretty warm summer and I didn't get to wear a lot of them, but when I do get to take them out a lot is during the fall and the spring season. So I think it's definitely worth it to be knitting summer tops in merino rather than summer yarns, because for me, they end up being more versatile than a summer top that's knit in like a cotton merino. I reach for my merino tops so often throughout the year. I don't really get to wear them in the summer, although they're really nice to knit when it's warm in the summer. So they're like summer knits, but I wear them mostly in the transitional seasons, and even in winter as a layering piece, they function so well. So I would definitely recommend using Knitting for Olive Merino or just a fingering weight merino for a summer top, or a camisole I should call it, to wear year round if you live in a similar climate to mine. I live in Western Europe, so yeah, do with that information what you will. I thought that was just interesting to share. Lilla, you are purring so loud. I don't know if they can pick it up, but if they can, I'm just gonna show you again. Oh no. She has lip gloss on her head now. Oh, Lilla, I'm sorry. Oh, it's all sticky. She loves this. I don't know why. Now, my second finished object is actually a September cast on, so it's something you haven't seen before unless you follow me on Instagram. If you want to stay in the loop with my knitting, you definitely should follow me over there. I post and make stories quite regularly to keep you guys updated on my knitting. But so I have posted this beautiful poet scarf there, but I haven't shown it on YouTube yet. This took me literally 1 weekend to knit, which is absolutely insane. Look how pretty she is though. I used just under 1 ball of Knitting for Olive Merino and Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the color Dusty Artichoke, which I had left over from my sweater number 15 that I knit in 2023, I believe, or like 2022 over into 2023. I love wearing this scarf with my sweater and my greenish coat. This is the Poet Scarf pattern by Sari Nordlund. I absolutely loved working through it. It was entirely charted and the charts were so meticulously done, beautiful, easy to follow. I love the experience of knitting this lace pattern, and the I-cord edges are just, or should I say slip stitch edges, are just knit as you go along. So this really is a project that has no finishings. You cast on, you bind off, and then it's done, which I love. I knit this on the suggested needles, which is 3.5mm needles, and I hit gauge perfectly, which I'm very pleased about. I am having a little bit of difficulty styling this though. I only recently became someone to whom the little tiny scarf aesthetic is appealing. Like I just didn't get it before, and some of my friends and people I follow online had been knitting tiny scarves and had knit this pattern specifically. I'd been wanting to knit the Poet Socks by Sari Nordlund with the same lace pattern, so I thought I could give this a whirl as well, and it might be fun. Even if I didn't end up liking the tiny scarf, I could gift it to someone, but it seemed like something very fun to knit, and it absolutely was. But yeah, I'm having trouble styling it. I don't know, I prefer wearing it just like this, because then you have like the little, oh, I'm gonna try and twist with Lilla on my lap, because then you have like the little V in the back. But yeah, I don't know, as soon as I start tying it, it starts looking a bit weird. Maybe I'm just not doing it correctly, but I feel like I look a little bit silly. Yeah, maybe it's my hair. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like something's wrong. It's not looking cool. It's not giving tiny scarf person like I hoped it would. I do like it more when I wear it to the side. Yeah, I quite like the look of this, but it is a tiny bit scratchy, which I never expected myself to say about Knitting for Olive Mohair, but yeah, it is itching me just the tiniest bit, so I might need to knit another one in like cashmere, but you know, now I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and it is actually quite cute. Yeah, so maybe I should wear it to the side and style it like this. Okay. Thanks for helping me out, guys. I think I figured it out now. Yeah, I really like the tiny scarf. I think if I wear it styled like this, yeah, I think this can work. It's definitely better than this. Or maybe more like this? I love how I'm just brainstorming styling this scarf with my viewfinder and acting as if I'm talking to you guys. Which I'm not, you're just a phone in a tripod. But, well, super cute scarf. Very pumped about this. I think this is gonna be a really good gift knit too if I ever have leftover yarn again for like my friends, because I mean it knits up in like a weekend, which is great. Like not a busy weekend, it was a calm weekend, but 2 afternoons and bada bing bada boom, you've got a tiny scarf. Or at least I do at my knitting tempo. Like everyone knits at whatever tempo they knit at. Don't come for me for saying I did this in an afternoon. That's just my tempo. And that is a tempo at which I do make mistakes. So this thing is full of mistakes. It's just also a very forgiving stitch pattern because I have trouble finding the mistakes that I know are there, which is nice. I like that. I strongly recommend this pattern for stash busting. I had so much fun. It's so pretty, and yeah. It's a great pattern. Now, my next finished object is currently on the floor, so I'm gonna have to see what I do with this one while I pick that up. I haven't been able to block it yet, so I gave it a quick steam block before filming, and I hope it looks good. Okay, so this is a gift knit for my friend Jessica. It still smells a bit like wet sheep. I knit this vest using the vest number 2 spring edition pattern by My Favorite Things Knitwear that I had in my library, and I just modified it a little bit by using this adjusted 4.5mm needles but holding a light sport weight yarn double. So I held Drops Nord double, which is a sock yarn with some polyamide or nylon in it, but also a wool and alpaca blend, which I thought would give it a beautiful halo, which it really has, but also like the drape and the softness of alpaca. It does seem to have that, while also, because I held this pretty thick yarn together, being nice and dense and thick and woolly like you would want a winter slipover to be. I've tried this on a pretty warm day already and I was sweating so much, so it is a pretty warm garment. It turned out perfect. I could not be happier with how this turned out. My friend that I knit this for, I'm visiting her in Barcelona in a short while, and she's turning 30 and defending her PhD, so I really wanted to knit her something, but I didn't have the time to knit an entire sweater because I assumed I would have been troubleshooting. I had to troubleshoot quite a lot with this one because I lost yarn chicken twice. I ordered extra pink yarn first, then I realized I ran out of white yarn. I didn't have enough to do the second armhole detail, which is just so stupid. I should have just ordered another ball of Drops Nord in white with the pink that I ordered. I used the neutral white and the old rose or vintage rose colorways. I actually wanted to knit my friend Jessica, if you're watching. Love you. But I actually wanted to knit her a sweater, but so I didn't have the time to knit a sweater if I calculated in the time for troubleshooting. So I went with a vest, but my friend is obsessed with stripes. It's like her trademark. If she would be a cartoon character, she would be wearing a striped top, and she really likes pink too. So I knew it had to be striped. I looked up striped vests on like Pinterest and everywhere, but I didn't really find many pretty examples, so this was a bit of a shot in the dark, but I do think it turned out really beautiful, and I think it matches her style pretty well, so I'm very happy about this. I knit her a little froggy. She called it Frogette, and she has a little pink and white striped sweater, so I went for pink so she can match with her Frogette, which is just adorable, and I really hope she'll like it. Aside from modifying the gauge, I didn't make any modifications to this pattern. I knit the size medium, and I think it turned out to be bigger than a medium, but that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to be oversized, but I knit the length to the size of a small, which I think will be perfect. I've tried it on. It looks exactly as I wanted it to look, so I'm very happy with this project. I hope Jessica will be happy too. I really think she will though. She is 100% the most knit-worthy person I know. I've been sending her like pictures and updating her as I've been knitting this, and she's just been so enthusiastic and excited, and it warms my heart. I can't wait to give this to her. Before I do, I have to give it a proper block though, which I'm scared about. I haven't blocked this yet because I don't want the pink to bleed into the white. So please leave your best blocking tips in the comment section below or DM me on Instagram because I need advice. What I think of doing right now is just adding a little bit of vinegar to the blocking water and blocking it with cold water instead of warm, like instead of lukewarm. I never block with hot water, but yeah, that's what I've been thinking of doing. I hope that works. Let me know if that's a dumb thing to do. I will be knitting a little striped swatch and blocking that first to test because I don't want to have all my hard work go to waste. But yeah, I'm a bit scared of the blocking process. But I will be blocking this soon so I can take it with me to Barcelona to see my friend and give it to her. She's so deserving of a hand knit. I'm so excited that I get to gift her something again. Now let's move on to my whips. I have a few whips in action currently, but I only have 2 that I really worked on in the past month. So in the interest of time and to not bore you by showing a whip that has made like 1 centimeter of progress, I'll be showing you the 2 I made progress on, and those are my 2 cardigans. The first cardigan is nearly there. Ta-da! This is my Copenhagen x Diane cardigan that I've been knitting for a while. Let me quickly try it on for you so you can see what it's looking like right now. So as you can see, I'm virtually there on the second sleeve. I just have a few centimeters and the cuff details to go. I think it's going to fit me perfectly. The sleeve length looks really great as well. When I'm using knitting for olive yarn, I always knit the sleeve exactly to length because they usually shrink a little bit. So I try to account for that as such. Sorry, Lila was doing something weird and I got distracted. I don't remember what I was saying, but I'll start talking about the details on this cardigan. This is a Franken cardigan I'm making. I wanted a cardigan that had the fabric and the fit of Petite Knit's Copenhagen cardigan with the details from the Diane cardigan by Cookie the Knitter. She's back. She's just chilling under my arm now. But so I knit Petite Knit's Copenhagen cardigan exactly to pattern for the size medium with 4mm needles. And then I used the Diane cardigan pattern for the hem, which looks so beautiful. And for the cuff. And I'm going to use it for the button band and the neckline as well. So in the Copenhagen cardigan, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to knit the neckline and the button band as you go, but I just didn't do that. I omitted that amount of stitches that were cast on for the button band when I cast on, and I started knitting right after the point where you're done knitting the neckline and the pattern, and then I'll pick up stitches for the Diane cardigan detail because this sweater has exactly the same gauge as the Diane cardigan, so I'm assuming that will look beautiful and work out perfectly for me. I'm using Knitting for Olive again. My fall knitting plans are very Knitting for Olive heavy. I'm using the merino, which is a fingering weight 100% merino, held with their soft silk mohair in the color Dusty Banana. I think it's so pretty, super gorgeous, and I cannot wait for this finished object, although I read the instructions for the button band and I think that might be why I haven't made as much progress on this cardigan as I would have wanted to. It's kind of scaring me. It looks frighteningly complicated. I don't like complicated things when I'm busy and my mind is overworked, so yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I hope that ends up being fine and not too much of a hassle. I hope I won't be procrastinating doing that until like December's podcast. But yeah, I have friends who will stop me from doing that if I ask them to. So Victoria, Sadie, anyone watching, please stop me from procrastinating finishing this cardigan. Thank you very much. Love you. So hopefully this will be a finished object in my next podcast. If not, send someone to smack some sense into me, please. Thank you. My next work in progress is a very, very long-term whip. I cast this on 2 falls ago in the fall of 2023, and I'm still not done with the yoke. This is my agnete cardigan. It's a pattern by Petite Knit. It's all over brioche on 3mm needles, which is why this has been such a languishing whip. But I am committed to finishing it this winter, like by this winter at the latest. Oh, she's inside out. Wait, this is how she's supposed to look. So I finished the back panel, I finished the right front, and I'm currently working on the left front. It's a drop shoulder cardigan, so you knit the back panel and then you pick up for the 2 front panels and then you join under the arms, not in the round because it's a cardigan, it's knit flat, which I think is good because I don't think I'll enjoy knitting brioche in the round for the sleeves at least. What I'm really enjoying... Hi Lila. What I'm really enjoying is that you do knit the button band at the same time as the rest of the body, which takes up a lot of time. Like the beginning and the ending of each row is tedious and slow, but you won't have like 3 days of knitting on a button band after you finish the body, which I'm pretty happy about. I don't have too much to say about this other than this is a behemoth of a project, and I can't believe I cast this on as a relatively new knitter still in 2023. I am experiencing it as a lot less difficult now than I remember I found the pattern in 2023, so I'm almost glad I let it languish for so long, because now I don't think I'll be making as many mistakes in it as I would have if I'd knit this 2 years ago. Or finished this 2 years ago. I think it's gonna look really cute. I'm using the Dusty Moose colorway of the Knitting for Olive Merino and Soft Silk Mohair again. It's this perfect grayed out taupe. The Merino looks a bit brown, whereas the Soft Silk Mohair grays it out a little. I think it looks absolutely stunning. It's a perfect neutral for me. I have a camisole number 9 knit with the Merino in this color, so I think that's going to pair so stunningly with this cardigan. I can't wait to wear it. This is definitely, like, for sure a product knit and not a project knit, although I am really starting to enjoy the brioche stitch, but I'm not sure I will as soon as I start knitting on the body and I'm done on the yoke, which is, I'm not far from doing that, honestly. I suppose you're going to see a lot more of this project in my upcoming videos because I really, really, really need to finish this. I need it in my wardrobe, and I can't stand it being a languishing whip any longer. The yarn takes up a lot of space too, so I gotta get going on this one. Now we're already at acquisitions! Yay! I have plenty of acquisitions. As I talked about in my last podcast, I finally own a Swift. She's right over there. This is a Swift by Siepius, which is a Dutch yarn brand. I think they might be discontinuing these Swifts because they're on sale, and a lot of the colors, because I actually wanted a pink one but I couldn't find a pink one anymore, so a lot of the colors have been discontinued or just sold out and not refilled, replenished, whatever. I'm very glad I did manage to get one at a 50% discount, no less, so I see this as an absolute win, but I am sad that it seems like they're discontinuing them, because what's really nice about it is that it's on a very heavy foot rather than something that you attach to a cabinet or a table. I really like the Swift. I love it so much, so I would love to recommend it to everyone, but yeah, I'm not sure it'll be easy to get a hold of one of these in the future. But so if you want one, be quick, because they look like they might be gone soon. My next acquisition is a bit of an ad. I was sent this knitting journal by Adorable Knits and Lano Publishers. This is a Dutch knitting journal, so it's sold in the Netherlands and Belgium, and it was created by Adorable Knits, who is a really, really cool Belgian knitwear designer and now also knitting journal author / creator. It has this beautiful dotting in the front. It's a gorgeous design. It's a beautiful pink color. It starts with with an index and with some information on Adorable Knits, or Dorothy Officiers, which is her full name. She then says all you need is a pair of knitting needles and goes into a lot of fun and interesting tips and tricks. She has an entire page on measuring yourself, and then on the page after that you can add your measurements. She then talks about yarn weights. I love this. This is such a good just overview to have and to reach for whenever you need it. She even has like EU to US to UK needle size conversions. And then you go into your monthly planning, which I've filled out already. And then last but not least, you have your project pages. I've already added my next cast on. There's some space to stick in the labels of your yarn, which I really like. And you have 4 pages to even like draw or review or write whatever notes you want for each project, which I think is plenty. I've been having so much fun using this journal. I think they're available through Dorothy herself or at Standaardboekhandel. I'll make sure to add a link in the description box. I'm not affiliated, I just was gifted this item and I love it so much that I decided to talk about it. Now, I finally received the yarn for my next cast on, which I hinted at already, and that is my Marielle blouse that I will be casting on. I won a giveaway by the designer of this pattern, Maria Svadden. She was sponsored by Knitting for Olive, so she sent me the required yarn in my color of choice. This is again Knitting for Olive merino and soft silk mohair, this time in the color Dusty Rose. I think the Dusty Rose matches the pointelle pattern stunningly. I don't think I could have made a better color choice. I'm casting it on this weekend. I've been waiting to cast it on for so long, but my friend Freya, we have this pattern where we both plan the exact same project without talking to each other about it. We had it with a Marielle blouse and the Madeline sweater, and we have it again with this Marielle blouse where we use the exact same yarn in the exact same color and we want to knit it at the exact same time. So we're both waiting to cast it on until we see each other so we can cast on together and do a little buddy knit. That's gonna be this weekend. I'm so excited not only to see my friend but also to cast on this stunning project. I'm so thankful to Maria and Knitting for Olive and their generosity, and I could not be more excited for this project. I think this is gonna look so stinking cute. I love it. I'm so excited. Now next, I made an order at Knitting for Olive to basically get the last bits of yarn that I needed for my fall knitting plans and winter. So I think for now, I have everything in stash that I need for all of my fall and winter knitting plans, and that is so exciting. I got this heavy merino in the color Dusty Petroleum Blue. I'm going to hold this single without a mohair. I've never tried that yarn out before as is. I've used it for a gift knit before, but not for myself, so I'm very excited to see how it works up, how it holds up. It feels a bit more rustic than the regular merino, which I'm very excited for. I'm going to use it to knit Ingrid Dub's Tyra or Tyra sweater, which looks like this essentially. These are 2 of the cables that are featured on this knit. This is essentially a drop shoulder crew neck all over cabled sweater, but with these very detailed, neat cable sections and a lot of purling in between. As you can see from this swatch, I had so much fun knitting up this swatch. I hit gauge perfectly on the suggested needles, which I think were 5mm needles. I don't think this will be something I cast on immediately, but I would love to pick this up in the fall and not in winter. So excited about this knit. Now next, I got the yarn for my Christmas sweater that I want to make this year. I have Dusty Rose, heavy merino, and soft silk mohair. Hi Lila. Do you like it? Do you think it's pretty? Oh no, you're just making the table wobble again. I got heavy merino and soft silk mohair in the main color Cloud, which is a pinkish neutral white, and then Dusty Rose, which is the contrast color that I will use for the bows. I call this the bow sweater, so I never really know what the actual name of the pattern is. It's the Northern Augustins number I think either 2 or 4, watch it be 3, by Anne-Sophie Velling. So yeah, I'm so excited to be using these colors and to be trying out color work again. I can't wait to cast this on. I think after my Marielle blouse, this might be the next cast on. Yeah, it's gonna be a very pinkish, dusty rose fall for me, but I can't complain about that because look at these colors. They're so pretty. I think this bow sweater, it's gonna give Christmas, but I'll also be able to wear it throughout the winter without it looking too Christmassy, you know? It's like, I don't want to put like hours of work into a sweater and then only be able to wear it in December. That's maybe one day for every hour of work that I've put into it. So I think once I've established a more elaborate hand knit wardrobe, I'll be getting into actual proper Christmas sweaters, but for now, I think this one will do just fine. So excited. Can't wait to cast this on. And with that, I think we got through everything that I wanted to talk about with you today. I hope it was not too rushed and too chaotic thanks to little Lilla's chaotic kitty energy today. I guess she was happy to be here and wreak havoc and make the table wobble a million times. I'm so grateful that you got to the end of this video. Please let me know what you were working on while you were watching in the comments. Those are my absolute favorite comments to read. They make my day every single time. Or let me know what you thought of the new Taylor Swift album. I hated it at first, and then after 2 days of marinating, I loved it, which is how it usually goes with Taylor Swift albums for me. So except for the Tortured Poets department, I loved that one on first listen. But yeah, that was not how it usually goes for me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and get to enjoy some lovely knitting time. And then Lilla and I will see you in our next video. Bye bye.